So I can say, there, the eyes have it.
The president must know that.
Between October 2024 and January 2025, more than 265 lives have been lost to fuel tanker explosions in Nigeria. Guess what? Twice of that number have perished in the last 2 years. In more than half a decade, tragedy had feasted on many human bodies in many Nigerian states in their countless attempts to scoop fuel from overturned tankers. Ask yourself, is it worth the risk? The answer is a resounding no. Are highly flammable once spark and disaster strikes. Ignorance or hardship cannot justify putting your own life on the line to stay alive. Whenever you see an overturned tanker or people attempting to scoop fuel, flee immediately or alert the relevant authority to secure the area and prevent a potential explosion. Don't take the risk. Stay alive, be alive, and live well. Room live on Mela 98.3 FM. Today is the 4th edition of the show for the week. It's a Monday, and today is the 21st day of April 2025. Well, I hope your weekend was good. I hope you had enough time to rest. I hope you had enough time to reach out or spend quality time with the family, especially for those that are enjoying the lengthy public holidays. Friday into the weekend, and today being Monday, of course, by tomorrow, the luxury of clear roads, traffic-free roads that we've been enjoying since Friday, will lose that luxury from tomorrow because the hustle and bustle of Lagos returns. And same for every of the 36 states and of course the FCT, which is Abuja. Well, I'm sure you're also having enough rest, a well-deserved rest, you may say, but then trust Nigerians. I think I said it last week, Thursday, on the show, and somebody sent a text that, oh, you're saying that because you work in a private, or you do. And I'm like, we really, really enjoy public holidays in this country. We love it. We crave it. We pray that they're even longer. During the end of Ramadan, we had 2 days break, and now we have 2 days now. By the time we get into April, there's going to be Children's Day, there's going to be Workers' Day, then when we get to June again, 12th of June, there's going to be Democracy Day, then there'll be public holiday again for, the big, just keep pulling things up. And if you check well, you understand how much billions of naira the Nigerian economy loses each time we go on this public holiday, because we literally shut everything down. The banks are not working, the civil servants are all at home, but then they would always tell you that Nigerians work really hard, so we deserve every single holidays we get. Yes, maybe I'm jealous a bit because while you're at home chilling, I'm here, but then of course it even makes me happier because more people are actually listening to the show, as against where everybody is, walking around and, being at the office or behind your radio. You get good value for every of those minutes. So once again, you're welcome. If you're meeting me for the very first time, my name is Oᴜᴜᴜ Akinde, and this program is called around leadership, around politics, around policies of government, and everything that affects you and I, especially a larger population of the people within the Middle Belt region of this country. I'm not sure if they can conveniently say that the 1999 Constitution has amended. The primary responsibility of every government, as stated in the Constitution, is the protection of lives and properties of the citizens, whether they have any tribal relationship with you or they don't, whether you have the same religious, irrespective of people's party affiliation or tribal sentiment. As long as you associate with this sovereign, is not the president of the Yoruba people, is the president of the largest black nation in the world, the 6th most populated, the largest democracy in Africa. A senior mentor of mine some months back, and he said one of the mistakes we always make in this country is that we equate good roads and tree. We had the best of roads under the military. We had the best of infrastructures. People were more orderly. People were more properly behaved. People were even managing public infrastructures better than what we have now. So why should we think having good road is a dividend of democracy when people have right to life? In the last few years, but then it got really bad in the last few weeks, that even the governor of Plateau government on the Plateau, from Basa local government to Bokos to Barrack-in-Ladi, the question everyone is asking is this: if the governor had failed in protecting these people, what happens to them? Could return to the country today? Maybe then, some drastic decisions will be taken apart from the regular paying condolence visits and instructing the governors to bring the perpetrators to book and all of that. More drastic actions have to be taken. So violence in the north central part of the country, because you could sit in Lagos and think, now it's a northern problem. Is that problem? If we say we are declaring state of emergency on agriculture in this country and food security, then the region that is supposed to provide food for us in this country is under constant attack. Look at Benue. Almost on a weekly basis, there are reports of farmers being attacked, this and that. Look at respectively, but these states have been under constant attack. And the question everyone is asking is this: you could build up anything you want to build up. I remember last week, conversation. That's Honorable Jonathan Asake, and he said, "Hey, anybody can paint whatever narrative you want to paint about what is going on in the North Central. You could come up with the fact that it's a sponsored and genocidal attack. It's a tribal cleansing. It is land grabbing. It is others farmers clash. That whatever nomenclature we want to put to it. The thing is this: the region is not safe. The people of that region don't feel safe, and they feel disconnected from the country, especially today. And of course, he's an international public relations practitioner, and he's also a public affairs analyst. He's the chairman of a public affairs analyst, Nigerian Guild of Public Affairs Analysts, Enugu State Chapter. He joins me on the show today to look at finding lasting solutions to the unending crisis of ethnic and religious violence in the Nigeria's Middle Belt region. So we center it around three core issues now. First off, what is the government doing wrong and rehabilitation? Well, how do you talk of social justice when you decide to rehabilitate and reintegrate Boko Haram members into the society and the communities, and the victims of their evil are left languishing in IDP camps in Niger Republic, in Cameroon, in Chad? Yes, Nigerians are in IDP camps in other countries. Not even society under Operation Lafia Dole, Operation this. You understand? You can rehabilitate people if they are truly repentant. But what happens to the people that they've caused pain? Shouldn't those ones also deserve some form of attention? We'll look at this issue from that side again. Then we'll ask again, what is the cost of peace? Can you equate human life to the life of a cow? We'll bring that narrative today. Dr. Ambrose Igboke, good to have
me on the show.
Okay. Well, first off, let me say Happy New Year. You're joining me on the show for the very first time in 2025. So welcome you to Lagos once again.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so let's get straight up into the conversation. First off, happy Easter celebration, long Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You've had enough time to, really sit back and probably spend some quality time with friends and family. So let's get straight up. It's a tiny fraction of what is really going on in the Middle Belt region of this country. Constantly, villages has been attacked. Constitution says in section 14, subsection 2B, at every single level. Dr. Ambrose Igboke, how do you place this, especially
the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, stated clearly that the primary responsibility of government is the security and welfare of the citizen. It means that the main reason why you are there as a government is to protect the citizens and to provide for their welfare. Prerogative for, and if they have the things they need, they have social security, they have jobs, the inflation is reduced, that they have access to Medicare, they have access to education, they have access to potable water, to infrastructure development. Now, in Nigeria, those factors have failed. I don't know when it started being monolithic north, but all of a sudden, all the middle belt areas are people, mostly people from the Tiv, Idoma, Igala, and some of the Gwari people, all the way from what we know. So, what has happened in the last... Now, the middle belt used to be called the food basket of Nigeria. Because they have large expanse of land. Niger, you want to talk of Benue, that is last mass, or Plateau, the old Plateau that is now part of it is Nasarawa State too. So these used to enjoy huge, even a lot of the Kaduna land. So you could see that these people, they were the original farmers, where a lot of farmlands are being, cultivated. Now, what has happened is that in the last 15 years, there have been, intruders from alien countries, from where we don't know where they're coming from, going to decimate farm communities, towns, villages. So this calls to question what is the motive behind this continuous attack? And it is what we need to start interrogating. So it is a failure because the government says, the constitution said the government should protect the people. That seems not to be happening for now. And it's a huge concern.
Okay. Thank you very much for two questions over the years. In quote, over centralization of the command structure of the military at the federal. So you hear people saying, we are waiting for order from above. It's only the commander-in-chief that can do this. This and this and this of security, whether the police, whether the army, whether the air force, whether the navy, they don't have a single control over these people. So when there are attacks, they would have to, call the commissioner of police to do this, to do that. Is this time we have a genuine and sincere conversation at Dr. Ambrose-Igboke about the issue of state police? Now, this is what I mean. Rangers come to Southwest, there's Amotekun. Go to Plateau State, there is the Operation Rainbow. Go to the Southeast Security Network. Almost everyone is putting up structures to protect themselves. Is this time for us to sincerely come back to the issue of state police and then let it be fully operational?
I want to state clearly that the constitution we are operating to command and control, central command and control. So they didn't want anything outside. So they wrote a constitution as if they are still running the military government. Add or subtract from the constitution or amend it, and it's still going on. And one of the conversations around it is that because the military gave us this constitution, they wanted all security architecture in the country to be controlled from Abuja, one source. So commander and in the hills of Osoka in Enugu, hardware and software, it doesn't work. So for policing to work, policing must be decentralized. That's why when you go to Europe and America, even the sheriff, county sheriff, all the federal police handle like the FBI and CIA, they handle central intelligence of the FBI, they handle intelligence and work with those who are on ground. So your own is to push intelligence using your sophisticated intelligence gathering and the rest. You disseminate it to those on ground. Now in Nigeria with its vast landmass, we have 36 states from Abuja 37. A commissioner of state is designated and told to go to a particular state from a command, a zonal command, and you put an AIG, that is President Commissioner of Police. Then in Constitution, the United States that it. So these are some of the contradictions the Constitution has that need to be corrected. You cannot call a state governor the chief security officer of a state. Yet all the apparatus of the state got the control of the civil defense in the state. It's not the control of the police in the state. Therefore, it's not the control of the military in the state without actually being in charge. So it is very painful and pitiable to see governors, chief executive of state having security crisis, and they go to Commissioner of Police to beg for support, or DSS directors and all those things. Some of them even, you see them crying out tears because our people are being killed and butchered. You can see the pains in the eyes of the governors. I don't know who is afraid of the state police. The state police, every crime is local. Therefore, it is only the local people that can identify the hotspots in the forest of people and then it is local people that lead them to the forest, lead them to the camp. How can somebody come from wherever he is and say that he knows your forest more than you do? It is a lie. Local people, the vigilantes, the police, JFT,
yes,
JTF, civilian JTF. Because the policemen were on special duty. It's when we were on posting. Different police, how many do we have to guide people? There are some local governments where there's only one police station, a whole local government. So some of these intervals, some police stations are like 50 kilometers away. So for some of us, when we sit down in Lagos, we think that the whole Nigeria is like Lagos, where at every corner I say police station because it's a cosmopolitan city. It's not like that. There are some places with full local government. By local government, there's only one police station. And so many other local government like that in many parts of the country. This police station is like a 1 hour, 2 hours drive, like 100 kilometers apart. So how do you want to coordinate security there? And some of these people don't even have the necessary. Criminals are so bold. They come around, do whatever they know because they know that before the next rescue, because they are gone. How many of these states have security camera? How many of them have security command and control? So these are the things that are the...
Okay. Dr. Ambrose, when the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was campaigning for election, the vice president was quoted as VP Shettima was quoted as saying that the security challenges we have in the country, especially. So I want to ask, we've read stories, reports where billions of taxpayers' monies have been, disbursed for procurement of weapons, of fighter jet, of drones, of these mobilization here and there. What is the government doing wrong? Because it looks like every possible means to achieve some form of, sanity is failing. Whether the kinetic means, the non-kinetic means, every form of alternative dispute resolution, negotiation, reintegration, all of those, insurgency for almost 20 years now. And we're still dealing with these people. Go to Sambisa today, they tell you that, it's a dead zone. Kidnappers everywhere. Why are we struggling as a government to put an end to all of this chaos, despite the huge level of investment that have gone into these things? Is there a sabotage somewhere, or we're not just doing the right things?
I think we're not doing the right thing. We know what to do, but somehow we don't have the political will to do that. For example, when these things happen, and they left defenseless, there is an imbalance of terror. And again, to color it, some people will call it crisis, farmer headache. There's no crisis, there's no farmer headache clash, there's no clash. Some people come in and decimate farmer, and you call it clash. Clash is when the people come with sophisticated weapon, AK-47 and bayonet and the rest, decimate farmers, kill them, bomb the whole village, and say it's a clash. There's no clash. English language, I think the word of clash is our whole village. Set terror, kill. Because that is how invasions work. As farmer had that clash. Where is the clash? Did the farmers have guns? Do the farmers have AK-47? Was there a linear warfare? Was there it is a clash? So what we have are people who are coming in to just decimate people and the rest. And what we are saying is that if you don't empower the governors to act decisively, these things will continue. Nigeria has Tucano jets, the African continent, and I dare say, part of the third world. Nigerian military men go for training. That is why when a lot of time Nigerian military go for expeditions, for foreign missions, they always come with laurels, with awards, because our officers are too much. So why are they not repeating the same thing here? So there's a problem. And is that problem we have to continue the conversation to see how it can unravel. Because I don't see how a ragtag terrorist team will invade this country. Our military has the capacity to wrap them. We know the power of the Tucano jets and many of what the reconnaissance as Sobela they done. And we need to, because the conversation, they move into what is police civil defense should be moved to the concurrent list of the Constitution.
Letting governors own the command structure of security, it has to go back to a constitutional review, because the power of the president being the commander-in-chief can review it. But the question is this: do we even have the political will to review the Constitution? We're still battling with some of our obnoxious electoral laws and pass, which is the conversation around social justice and rehabilitation. I'm sure you've seen videos, you've seen reports of different theater operations where Boko Haram have been said to be de-radicalized and then rehabilitated, and they are being gradually reintegrated into the society. We've seen it several times. Repentant Boko Haram were reintegrated into this. So let me paint a little picture. A few years ago, I was part of a team that did a report on IDP camps in Nigeria. So I visited about 4 IDP camps in Borno State. I visited about 2 in Bassa, 1 in Southern Kaduna, and 1 in Niger Republic. Dr. Ambrose Igboke, in Cameroon, there are IDP camps there where Nigerians are of course, you don't call those ones internally displaced people anymore. There are Nigerians in IDP camps in Chad. There are Nigerians in IDP camps in Niger Republic. There are Nigerians in IDP camps in Cameroon. That is how bad things have become. So how do you balance this, Dr. Ambrose? If the people that were victims of these repentant Boko Haram are still left to languish in IDP camps, made them internally displaced persons, even how much peace do you think would ever achieve if we continue to operate in this line of thought? A lot of people have come out to say that this is a deliberate discrimination, that if you are reintegrating people, you should also take care of the people that their actions and inactions have affected for life. Do you subscribe to this school of thought?
Well, any school of thought or any complicity or conspiracy theories will actually fly, because there is a phenomena where somebody who has committed terror on the state, who have killed, maimed, destroyed, and actually caused treason by hosting flags without, I don't know what kind of debriefing they did. I don't know what kind of rehabilitation they did, that within few months, briefing of an enemy, because those people are enemies of Nigeria. So even if they are changing, or that's only it takes years, it cannot de-radicalize somebody in 6 months. So there's a problem there. It calls for concern. It is worrisome, and it's a threat to national security. How are these people being radicalized? Who radicalized them? What are the processes? Do you know the training it takes for somebody to join the Nigerian military? Let's even take Nigerian military school. Do you know how many years the person goes to Nigerian military school to be commissioned? Do you know how many years they spend in the police academy? Do you know how many years people spend in DSS training schools to now become, then you come to some people who don't have the basic training of security, who have been radicalized over the state to be enemies of the state. all of a sudden they say 6 months is okay. There's a problem. And the conversations around it is to make this kind of nonsense stop is to if that because now it is biting so many states. Before it used to be seen as an isolated issue. Somebody once said that when it is terrorism in the north, it is treated with perfume. When it is somewhere else, it is perfumes and deodorants. When it is somewhere else, it is treated like an odor. So there's a problem. Why have you not branded Boko Haram a terrorist group? Even when United States have done that, and some other countries. The other are terrorist organizations in Nigeria. Till today, we have not heard anything by the Nigerian government. So one of the surest ways to mitigate this kind of action is to ensure that we create state police. So that the security of citizens in each state can be anchored by the governor. The governors of the state can hold their governors responsible. Not a faceless commissioner of police. We don't know where it comes from. Sometimes the police commissioner of police don't even last 6 months. They remove them. They spend 1 year. They are removed. They are even, some of them are just settling down to their work. The next thing they post them out of the state. Is that how to run a security architecture? Even the DPOs. The new commissioner of police comes, he rearranges the DPOs. What kind of security architecture do you run in this country? The other time, former governor of Rivers State, Rotimi Amechi, when he was governor, I knew that he was a training, some serious training he gave to the police who were posted to his state, and all those, he bought equipment and everything. And then the next thing, almost half of almost all the people were transferred from that state to another after investing so much in training. So if the state police and the governor has his police, he will deploy anything, any amount of money necessary that he can muster to train his police, because you know they're not going to be transferred to anywhere. They're going to bring people to train them in warfare and everything. Okay, let me give you an example. In Enugu State now, the governor is doing all he can to bring a lot of hardware. He established the DSR and some other things, direct response, VRS, and other things, cameras everywhere, command and control center. Where are the personnel? There are not police personnel to mark all these things. But if the governor was allowed to recruit, there's a state police. So you can now, buy your hardware, do all this, you have enough men. You cannot determine how many people is your security. That's what's called security mapping. When you do your security mapping, you can now say how many people you need. Then you can now go in and then know the amount of people you want to recruit and all those things. Then you check your budget. Each state will now know what it needs. Then with this, if there is state police, states can now collaborate with each other, neighboring states, to create like a kind of security hub, interstate security, border patrols, and all those kind of things. So that when you pursue one criminals from this state, they don't go to the other state. You cannot have a joint patrol on your borders, on your forest, on your landmass, and all those things. Now the governors are very, very capacitated. They are helpless. By the time every state starts taking care of security, these terrorists will go back to where they come from. They are cowards, actually. Neither wants to face me as issue. They cannot try it. So why is it they're always going to civilian houses, going to villages to bomb villages and towns? Let them come to town now. So these are the issues. We don't have enough personnel to engage these people. And it's only state police that can create those kind of personnel.
Okay.
And I hope the federal government is working towards that. I like the last order the commander-in-chief of the armed forces gave to Plateau State governor. Say, do all within your power. I like that kind of command. I say such command should be given more.
Okay.
So that if the commander-in-chief can charge all the governors, why will I order? So the government can start acting even before the state police comes.
Dr. Ambrose, let me hold your thought at this point. If you say you like that command, it is one thing to give command. It is another thing to have personnel to implement those commands. It is another thing to be equipped enough to implement those commands. It is another thing to also have the political willpower to implement those commands. So let me push it again here. I've been privileged to, stay within the North Central into the, for instance, if you're moving from Riyom to maybe a Barikin-Ladi, for instance, that's almost about 4 or 5 hours of unguarded land. That's unprotected land mass. That a lot of things can be going on behind those bushes and you would not even have a single idea of those things. So if the president gives such order, and even talking about the president, I mean, the major responsibility of the president at this point is to protect and make sure that the welfare of your people are safe. What more can be more than that? Can you equate to state visit or saying that you went on a walking visit or on a walking whatever it is? So imagine a state in America, for instance, is under siege, and then President Donald Trump is outside of the country for 1 week or for 2 weeks, and the president has not returned. He had not felt the need to abandon whatever state visit and go back to the house that is on fire. So let's talk about this straight question. How much is the cost of peace? We've seen situations, Dr. Ambrose Igboke, where people have said, attack the others and invade your communities and white people.
Well, the human life in Nigeria has no value. Nigerians don't value their citizens. Nigeria does not value its citizens. That's why they kill us like chickens and nothing happens. They kidnap us into the bush. They do anything with us. Nothing happens. So if you ask me what is the worth of human life in Nigeria, it is of little value. Go and kill one American citizen. I know what America would do to you. 1,000 Israeli citizens were kidnapped and killed, and some of them tortured and all other things on October 7th. No peace. A couple of Israelis were hijacked in a plane in 1977 and diverted to Entebbe in Uganda. Under 3 days, a special force was sent from Israel all the way to Uganda and even Ukraine. So it is not that we enable you, as Buhari said, that he wanted to do many things, but the constitution does not allow him to do it. Because he now saw the difference between being a military head of state and a democratic president. I am not somebody who is again, what is if you are saying, go and do whatever you can as governor. Before, governors were not told that. So governors will wait for DSS, governors will wait for police, governors will wait for whatever. But now if the command, that means those lands you are saying that there's vast land, who told you that they are empty? There are villages inside those forests. Mobilize them. Now, there is a bill. I think Kogi State just established a vigilante. Now, there's a bill in Benue State by the governor to establish forest guards. Some of the states already have the forest guards. So, activate them. So, now, the governor of Plateau State will now know that the commander-in-chief has given him powers to do whatever he can. So it's not more a lame duck sitting for whoever to tell him to come to Abuja to go and beg one IG or go and beg one AIG or beg one. So that's a good sign. I think that's a good sign. And I pray that the president should give more marching orders to governors like that until we finally have a state police. Because the forest rangers, the forest guards, the vigilante, and civilian JTF, all these people, no, they can actually guard their community against this and that. You better have a free way right now. They can come in. You talked about killing cows. They can come in anytime and invade you. There's no security anywhere. But when they know that when they cross this path, some forest rangers will deal with them. Then there can be balance of terror. And they will free. Because you cannot defeat people in their own land. They know the way. That is why America could not defeat Afghanistan. They could not defeat the Taliban. They know all the caves. They know all the mountains. They know all the rocks. They know all the hiding places in Afghanistan. Americans were doing paratroopers, doing all those noise. For how many years? Something years. They couldn't. They had to retreat. They had to pack up finally from Afghanistan. This was Vietnam. So the terrain, the local, when they are in power, they can deal with security. They can support the police. They can assist the police. They can assist the DSA. They can assist the civil defense. And transfer to the state or some of the states. And this will help. Because the burden of funding alone on the federal government to police the whole country, the federal government does not.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Ambrose Igboke, for lending your thought to this conversation. But very quickly, before I let you go, Nuhu Ribadu came out to say that Nigerians need to stop paying. But of course, we've seen situations where, a lot of Nigerians had come out to say that, the security agencies were not responding on time and that we had to take it upon ourselves to rescue our relatives. I mean, very recently, the former DG of NYSC was kidnapped and was kept in custody for 56 days. I mean, imagine someone that hiding place. So what happens to, the common man in quotes now that does not even have so much, economic value to all of these people? Do you think Nigerians trust the security structure? They can trust that, we're not going to pay the ransom. These people will be rescued. Or do you think it's an admin deserve to be kidnapped in the first place? Do you think Nigerians trust the security agencies enough that for every kidnapped, their relatives can be properly rescued without casualties?
Well, there have been questions around the choice of Mr. Nuhu Ribadu as the NS to really be an NSA and the rest. And for a long time, NSAs have been former retired military guys and not police. But again, for now, Nuhu Ribadu seems not to be on top of the situation. There is a lot of insecurity going on, and instead of him to deal with the meat of the matter, he's talking about people not to pay ransom. Let me ask Mr. Nuhu Ribadu. The people that call relatives, the bandits, not bandits, the terrorists, these guys are terrorists. Let's not even be authorizing the name. These terrorists that call the relatives of captured people for money, they use phone numbers, Nigerian phone numbers. Okay? These Nigerian phone numbers are linked to NIN, national identity numbers. Some of these things are linked to the national identity numbers are linked to BVN.
Database.
Access to database so that they are not captured. But what you are blaming is the people that are desperate to save their loved ones. I think Mr. Nuhu Ribadu should focus on trying to use all the tracking devices, all the investments we made. People went through harrowing experience to link their phone number to their name. Why are those terrorists in the bush making phone calls in the Nigerian telecom space and they cannot be tracked? Those are the questions Mr. Nuhu Ribadu should provide for answers that we need to hear from Mr. Nuhu Ribadu. I think the questions of don't pay ransom, they are pedestrian. Because if the government was hard enough to make sure that the terrorists do not have even an opportunity to call family members of kidnapped victims to parting with money, it won't happen. So I expect that they should be tracked with the GPS into the bush and raided and arrested. Because these phone calls they make, it's within our telecom space. So they can be pinpointed. Their precise location can be pinpointed through the nearest base. To the nearest map. Why are they not doing that? So we need more explanations why things are not happening.
Okay, and I hope that one of these days I would get some of these answers, maybe these explanations. And I hope that the people would also think that we deserve to know so much more. In case you're just joining us, let me admit that you have missed a few things here because we started this conversation with by 4 o'clock with my guest, Dr. Ambrose Igboke, and we've looked at ending or looking for solutions to some of the problems, especially the ethnic and religious killings and circle of violence, basket of the nation, and then we say we want to declare state of emergency on food security, and the state that is supposed to supply the food is under constant attack. Our farmers are getting killed, vigilantes are getting killed, people are getting kidnapped, villages are getting burned, food bans, are getting, on what are we declaring state of emergency on food security on? Residents are reported to be paying bandits tax before they can access their own farms. It's a lot of problems, and I hope that, just like my guest said, I hope we can get answers to some of these questions. Good to have you join us on the show today, Dr. Ambrose Igboke, and I want to especially thank you. You promised we're going to be available, and true to your words, you came through for us. We appreciate you, and we thank you for spending time with us on the show today.
Thank you very much for having me on the show.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much, and have a beautiful evening. I will keep in touch with you, Dr. Igboke.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, that's about it. It's a Monday edition of the show, and we would always love to dig it really deep to have, people, stakeholders, opinion leaders, sometimes even politicians to help us unravel some of the issues that we may have been dealing with or struggling to understand within our political or current affairs space. That's why we call the show The Situation Room. Whatever situation that is affecting our existence as a people or putting to threat our daily living, we'd have to bring it up here to break it down into the tiniest details. Dr. Ambrose Igboke is international public relations consultant. He's also the state chairman of Guild of Public Analysts in Nigeria, and empowered and equipped before they can function within their responsibility as the chief security officers of the state. Where Dr. Igboke feels it's time for us to be intentional about the conversation around state policing, so that the governors will not have to be running around looking for commissioners of police that would need to get a village under attack. The killings that went down on the eve of Christmas of 2023, on the 24th of December 2023, in Bokos local government of the Plateau, reportedly had almost 150 people killed, about 37 children. And I mean, the people we spoke to on this show, live from those affected communities, said the killings went on for over 4 hours unchecked. That these attackers came on motorbikes, and then they came in the middle of the night, and then they killed, and then they ransacked villages, almost 18 communities, over 2 local governments. And they went in and then they went out unchecked people. And if they say that security is supposed to be the principal responsibility of government at every level, local government, state government, why should the entire command structure be, in the hands of the presidency, being the commander-in-chief of the armed forces? We understand it's a delicate situation, but if we need to be sincere with ourselves, Nigeria is a very complex country. It's so complex that securing the lives of the people, of presumably almost 230 million people, cannot be done with less than 1 million police. We don't even defending the sovereignty of this country from bandits and assailants and internal invaders. Station Room live from Milan 98.3 FM. My guest from 4 p.m. had been Dr. Ambrose Igboke, and I had to let him go because I promised I was going to have him just 1 hour. But of course, I would, get across some of the questions if need be to him for responses. We're streaming live on Facebook. I'm seeing you 0913 0410. 0913 0410. Well, earlier today, the death of Pope Francis was announced at the age of 88 years old, from 1936 to 2025. the leader of the Catholic Church, dies at 88. Well, a man of peace, a man of different character, different perspective to his personality. I mean, during the COVID, the role he played to the fact that he was still meeting people despite the restrictions. He had, COVID about twice for that age, and he's been having a lot of issues. But well, as nature would always play its part, and we can't keep it. So the timing is, it's Easter Monday, and then the death of Pope Francis was also announced this morning. Well, if you look at the journey, you would admit that he brought some sweeping reforms, a renewed spirit of inclusion, especially on his vocal position in the war going on in Gaza. And, but like I said, a lot of people may disagree a bit, especially with his position on same-sex marriage and all of that. But he was a man that never ceased from putting his thoughts on global issues, and absolutely lived well and led the Catholic Church of the Papa. That's some massive sum there. Well, on the 16th of January 2021, he made all of those. He was ordained a Catholic priest in 2001. He was born in Buenos Aires in Argentina. He was elected Pope at 76 years old after the resignation of Pope Benedict. He was elected Pope on the 13th of March 2013 as suits in the Vatican's guest house. Pope Francis will be the first Pope since Pope Leo to be buried outside of the Vatican. The Catholic Church to the worldwide abolition of the death penalty in any circumstances. And he says, in the light of the gospel, the death penalty is I think one of the controversies, that he went to the grave with. Well, the leader of the Catholic, and I hope that the next Pope, I know that the procedure.
Yeah, Pope, let me talk about Pope. Of course, I have much respect for him, and I want to condole with. He died well. In fact, dying on an Easter Monday for that matter. It's a lot. That is one thing we have to face in life sometimes. When I think of death, like one day I will die and I'll go underground. It's a whole lot to deal with. But then all of us will go one day. It's only good to go well. You are going to go well and go well around your family. This is where may his soul rest in peace. Nigerian problem don't tire me.
Okay. Thank you. Besides the fact that I'm being paid to do this, it's also a responsibility to continue to, I think it's something a lot of Nigerians need to start putting into consideration so that it will guide their decisions and how they place value or not on human lives. Like I always said it, the fatality of death is so crazy that you can't question it. No matter how you prepare for it, when it comes, nobody is ever ready for it. And so it's basic. It just comes and then the chapter of your life closes and never to be opened again. I think if
ordinarily, do you think it is reasonable for us to plan for our death? Is it not reasonable to you?
Mr. Gaga Joshua, let's
let's be
and how we should know that no matter how much wealth you amass in your entire lifetime, no matter how much billions you have, no matter how much public funds you choose to steal, when you die, you are living with nothing.
That your most beautiful and precious car. You see some of your children,
the houses you have,
your children will. Maybe they can give it out to their girlfriend.
So no matter how much you steal, once you die, you can't even have a control over those things anymore. People that did not even hustle it with you, people that did not even, go through with you, would just take it and life would go on.
And I really think some of all these politicians, they will keep thinking about this because most of them they have this brain before power and after power. But when they are in government, they don't have it.
Mr. Gaga Joshua, that's a lot of money.
That's a whole lot.
If you spend 1 billion a year, that means it could take you 89 years to finish 89 billion.
I'm telling you.
That's a lot of money.
And what they do is not, they don't feed with some of all these things. They don't feed. They don't feed with all, what are you eating? Are you eating human being?
Even if you are cooking money every day, you can't finish 89 billion. Even if they are cooking money for you to eat. Maybe we should just start thinking about the fatality of life and death. Because when it comes, it's over. I mean, no matter how much prayer the Catholic had probably been giving to the Pope in the last 2 months, I've been in and out of the hospital. When the time came to go, he left. He left. Okay. Let's talk. Oh, hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. Catholic faithful of the death of the Reverend Father Papa. Just like you have said, they are dissected and exposed everything that needed to be talked about. But the point I want to make is that indeed that our politicians doesn't know, they knows now. They know everything they are supposed to do. Just like Jonathan said, it is easy to pretend to be sleeping, to wait somebody that is but very hard to wait somebody that is pretending to be sleep. But very easy to wait somebody that is sleep. They should do the needful now. Wish them the best. I won't say I won't be agent of you, but that is the way it will be. Good afternoon.
Okay. General Tᴏɪᴛᴜ Danjuma yet again called on the residents of Taraba State to defend themselves against bandits and terrorists. This should be about the 3rd time he's making this call. Hello, good evening. Ambassador Musbal.
On the speed of the Easter, I will not say anything. If not so, I will report you and Mr. Gege to the parliament.
Come on. I mean, see, that was just...
I spoke well. It makes the governor be mashing hot, okay? And let's wait and see how it's going to use it. So, if possible, like your guest said, I'm not just be there. It's a cultive work. Because to me, I not see the work of the governor on this. And moreover, all these troubled states of Benue Plateau State, they have retired general. The Plateau that you mentioned now, former Senate president is there. Duncan Bali. What are they doing? Are they the one behind this? Look, we need to ask them questions because I believe this state have been troubled because of this. Honestly, enough is enough. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Musbal, for joining the conversation. It is one thing to give a game, and that's the truth. That's the truth. Yes, the governors also have their own role, of the security architecture, even in their own states. Okay? Let me have your thoughts here. Hello, good evening. Hello? Okay, I got a bit late. 0913-600-0410. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. How are you doing?
I'm very well, and you?
I'm okay. I went home.
You've been away for a while. Exactly. Good to have you back.
Muhammad Abbas. Yeah, thank you. Muhammad Abbas from Kenya. Yeah. Okay, so I just want to, please, anyway, I don't want to comment on the death of that man. I mean, I don't know why the reason why you brought me. I want to talk about the state of the nation.
Please go on.
I recently came back from home, and this very government, majority of our people voted for him, thinking that maybe he's going to do better.
So can I ask you a question, please?
Yeah.
Where's home? Where's home?
Yeah, I went home. That means I went to the... He thought that he's going to do better than President Buhari, even though both are doing the same party. And unfortunately, regrettably, this is not what we expect. It's unfortunate, and this killing that is going on, I understand. The killing that is going on, bringing the forces, bringing people to kill the minority, the Christian, the majority minority Christian in the northern Nigeria, which is absolutely unacceptable. That is their own, what they call it? That is their own target, to bring division from into the northern Nigeria. And these people are talking to our people. They understand it. Inshallah, very soon they will find a solution for the problem. No religion or no ethnics in this country that do not have the criminals in their state or in their tribe. But anytime something happens, they are always pointing fingers at us that we are the responsible for it. It is unfortunate. Your country is a one country, Nigeria is a one country. Something happened in one part of the country, you should feel like, okay, it happened to you too. You should be concerned. You should find a solution for it. But sometimes when something happens, you people, some of you speak as if the northern Nigeria is another government in the country. He's bringing more divides into the country. I just come back and I saw the road, I saw everything that's happening. No single contract, no single project is going on in the northern Nigeria. It's abandoned. The one that Buhari is doing, he came and stopped it. What kind of wickedness is this? What the northern Nigerian people do? He's so politically, he's so mature. We will show him, inshallah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I know that the emotions can really be running super high. I mean, it's saying that the people of the state should equip themselves and defend themselves against terrorists. The governor says that that is an invitation to anarchy, and people should not would not have to carry guns, and it could lead to anarchy in the land. Well, this country, and that's the fact. Hello, Mr. Shola.
Hello.
Yeah.
Calling from Ecuador.
You're welcome.
Yes, Matthew Noda from it is in UK now, right? But my point is, my observation is that it's not just about giving Matthew Noda to the state governor, or that's where they pass into the villages to attack them. Now, even if, because I remember the time of our case, that man really tried, you understand, by setting up the vigilantes, those ones, they go into the forest. But the thing is that the weapons they have, can you match that one of those killers, those terrorists? Actually, that these people have the political will to settle this matter. What are the governors doing? Can't they come together and sit down? Especially the states that have been affected. For the vigilantes, and in that case, they can be putting the ammunition that they need. In this country, we need forest guards. If we actually want to protect our borders, our forests, and the environment must come from even the National Assembly. So these people don't have the political will. At the end of the day, people will defend themselves. That's what will happen. There will be anarchy. So until they put a nation, this thing is still going to blow. We want to tackle this thing. It's very simple. I don't know why they don't want to see that. No simple way.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shola, for joining the conversation. Let me quickly stop over on Facebook. I would also read some of the messages that we have here. I know a local government cannot stay in the country isolated. Please, this is not a one religious. Thank you. You are making reference to the last caller that asked, why am I mentioning the death of the Pope on a Pope can be called up on the station as it affects the world? Thank you. John Bernardo E on Facebook says that I disagree with your guest on the issue of the president giving order to the governors. What would the governors do? Because the vigilantes group cannot do here. RPG and AK-47 against then guns. How much? What are you equipping them to work with? If you say they should do everything within their powers to bring situation under control in their state, what exactly are you empowering them with? I salute you, my gallant brother. How is your morale this evening? Please kindly help me wish. Okay. Thank you very much for that message. This one says, good evening, Ope. Your guest spoke really well today. On the issue of the killings in the North Central, it's a plot to make sure that Nigerians die of hunger. Because how do you make sure that the region that produces food for the country is being under constant attack? That is Bola from Ikorodu. Okay, thank you very much. This is Felix Femi from Bagada. It says, I condole with the Catholic family worldwide on the death of the Pope, the killings in the North Central. We used to think it is their problem until the chaos there is leading us to hunger in the Southwest. Let the president do the right thing, but let the president return to the country first. Okay, thank you very much. Let me talk to Pastor Ambrose. 1 minute rather.
Where?
You're welcome.
Good evening.
Good to have you join us on the show. Happy Easter Monday.
Yes, talking about security, when those people were killed in Uromi, I understand how it went viral, that they were going to retaliate, blah, 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 all manner of things. Imagine, God forbid, that it was the same thing that happened in the north. And the issue is this. We are talking of Mr. President says he's going to employ 50 million youth. Where are they now, Ope? Please help us look for Ben, so that you can interview him. Because if they need to recruit people, let them recruit. If they need to, want to start buying Gary again for 100,000.
Thank you. I sometimes wish I could provide answers to the barrage of questions I always have to do the word you on this show, or it is your problem. It is our problem. I don't have a market where I buy rice for 50,000 naira per bag. Neither do I have a fuel station where I buy petrol at 110 naira per liter, or I buy a tuber of yam for 150 naira. Everybody feels the same pulse. Everybody, are dealing with issues, and we're just struggling and putting everything together to make sure that we don't stop talking. And of course, we'll have to keep the conversation. For being my guest on the show today. And of course, the program continues tomorrow by 4 p.m. on your Super Dial mainland, 6 o'clock. I would be back here to take you through the world of sports. Wow. And there was the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix over the weekend. And it looks like McLaren is getting it really good this season. Oscar Piastri yet again won in Saudi Arabia. We'll also talk about all of that. Liverpool seems to be just 3 points, one win away from their second Premier League title in 5 years. We'll talk about all of that by 6 o'clock. But of course, stick around for Mainland FM Sunset News in the next couple of seconds. My name is Oᴏ Akende. Let's do this again tomorrow. Same station, Mainland FM, same time, 4 to 5:30 p.m.